So Underdog Fantasy is hosting the largest fantasy football contest in NFL history and fantasy football history, and it's done in the best ball format. If you're not quite sure what that is, this is a process that rewards people that are really good at drafting and may not be that good at playing the waiver wire or doing mid-season trades down the stretch as you make that championship push. I certainly am not good at that, and that's why I like this contest a lot. You draft a team, there's a quarterback, a tight end, 3 wide receivers, 1 flex, 2 running backs, and then you have 10 bench slots. So you go into a draft with 12 or 11 other people, 12 people total. There's 18 rounds. You go through that whole process. It's a $25 entry fee. And once you have your team, that's your team for the entirety of the season. For the first 14 weeks of the regular season, those are the people you're competing against. And once you get out of that group, then you move to the week 15 group. And if you get out of that, you keep moving on in each process, winning more money. If you want to take a look at the prize breakdown, these are the regular season prizes. So there's $5 million total dollars in regular season prizes. Out of all of the entries in this year's Best Ball Mania, if you come in first place during the regular season, better than all the other accounts over 14 weeks, you win $500. If you're 1,001 through 10,000, you win $250. You get some of your money back. And then you get to the playoff prize pool. And as you can see here, you've got week 15, the quarterfinals, week 16 is the semifinals, week 17 is the finals. Each time getting a slightly larger group. So in round 1, weeks 1 through 14, you're in a 12-person group. I think the top 2 players advance, I believe. Then there's the round 2, there's 16-person groups. Round 3, 16-person groups. Round 4, that championship round, there's 441 people left. So this is the prize breakdown for that playoff tournament. So if you're the highest scoring person in all of Best Ball Fantasy, you win $3 million. And that's what I'm going to try and do. You have up to 150 total entries, and I'm going to hop right into my draft, $25. If you want to use my code to join Underdog Fantasy today, it is code Thicc, THICC. It'll double your first time deposit up to $100. So if you want to do 4 entries and you want to deposit $100, you've never competed before, if you deposit, use code Thicc, you'll get another $100 and you'll be able to do 8 entries. So use code Thicc. A link is also in the description, and let me know how your draft goes. What would you have done differently in my draft? What players or teams are you maybe targeting? And I'm going to wait for this to fill up, and then we'll get things started. So looks like we are picking 4th. As far as who I want to target, I'm guessing that Christian McCaffrey and Justin Jefferson aren't there. A lot of times people just go based on the ADP, but in this one, I want to try and target being able to get Travis Kelce, and then maybe Patrick Mahomes slides down the board. I'll pick 4, and I'll have, pick 21. So the odds of that happening are not all that great, but if I'm able to get Kelce, he's the most sure thing. So that's why, and this year, even in my regular leagues, when I'm drafting with my friends or other people, maybe I'll do one with some of our subscribers and followers over on TikTok this year, I am looking to target Travis Kelce relatively highly. He's the most consistent tight end. It feels like he's guaranteed to be 15 points every week. You know he's going to get the yards. You know he's going to get the catches. Now, will things change a little bit this season in Kansas City because it feels like they have 10 different wide receivers they want to try and get the ball to? We'll see how that finally whittles down. But they pass the ball more than anyone else. And hopefully I'm not just spewing a bunch of nonsense here, and I will have the chance to draft Travis Kelce, but we will see in 28 seconds as Justin Jefferson does go first overall, and C just goes to the ADP. So I am here in this draft going to go Kelce. I know I'm just following the ADP, but if I was picking at 6, I'd be hoping for Kelce to fall to me. If I was picking at 2, I'd be consider taking Kelce. And every single time, I think there's a few different players you feel real confident about. Like maybe you feel confident about the Seahawks offense, so you go with Geno Smith, you go with Kenneth Walker, you try and stack up now JSN on that, and you want to do a team stack where you get a lot of players on the same team. You think that offense overall is going to be great every week. The points add up as the weeks go on. I'm going with Kelce there. I feel great about him being a tight end every week, and maybe I even stack another tight end. That way, in this 12-person group I'm competing in, I'm guaranteeing taking away a solid tight end from someone else and raising my floor in case Travis Kelce has a bad week, or maybe another elite tight end has a very good week. So I don't know what I'll do yet. It looks like draft's going relatively as expected. I mean, it's basically been ADP. Bijan Robinson going in the first round at 9th overall. I want to try and get Geno Smith because I think the Seahawks offense is going to be phenomenal this year with the fact they added JSN and they added, I can't think of the rookie running back. Their offense is going to be so good. So if I can do something where I get a bunch of Chiefs players and Seahawks players, that's an ideal world for me. This guy just drafted AJ Brown. The Eagles offense will obviously also be great. Garrett Wilson at at 12. Now, he does have Aaron Rodgers, so I'm assuming that Jets players are kind of also climbing the board here with Aaron Rodgers entering the picture. I don't feel that great about the Jets offense necessarily, just because when you look at the AFC, Aaron Rodgers may be the 6th best quarterback in the AFC. I'd rather have Josh Allen and a bunch of people that are part of the Bills offense, me personally, and I don't know. I'm not as big on Aaron Rodgers anymore, so I wouldn't go in that direction. They could wind up being great. Who knows? Now, hopefully, we need Patrick Mahomes to make it past 4 people here. Oh, he does go 2 running backs or Saquon. So now, these people all need running backs. Running backs go quickly. I know I'm passing on running backs, but hopefully they also pass on Patrick Mahomes. They pass on Josh Allen. They pass on Jalen Hurts. And I can pair up Patrick Mahomes with Travis Kelce. Because in these drafts, that is extremely hard to do. One of the elite quarterbacks with their top receiving weapon. And of course, Mahomes. Okay, dude. That's just super cool.
That's garbage. That's total garbage.
You know what? I don't feel great about it. I really don't. I don't feel like that's a good pick. I feel like it's going to bite me in the ass, but I'm going to go with Derrick Henry there just because I believe in his fantasy upside. Even if the Titans stink this season, I think he's going to put up big numbers. Maybe Will Levis elevates that a little bit. Their offensive line got a little bit better with the addition of Skoronski. Hopefully he tears it up, but I feel better about him than I do Breece Hall coming off that ACL. Even in the Jets offense, I mean, maybe he'll still be great. Tony Pollard dealing with that injury. We don't know how good he's going to come back. I'm just feeling a little iffy there. Now here, with the other running backs, I don't feel great about Ramondre Stevenson because I'm not confident in the Patriots. You know what? I have Travis Kelce right now. I have Derrick Henry. I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson. After getting that contract he did, he finally is the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. They added Zay Flowers. They have Odell. They have Rashad Bateman. They got Mark Andrews. J.K. Dobbins will be coming off that injury, healthier and hopefully better than ever, a year removed. And I think he's going to be great in that offense. Not exactly direction I wanted to go in when I started this, but I have Lamar, I have Derrick Henry, and I have Travis Kelce all on the same team. So if they play to their ceilings, if I get MVP Lamar, if I get Travis Kelce week in and week out, if Derrick Henry and the Titans offense is functioning, that is a great 3 to start with. Now, will I get that? Do they have lower ADPs right now because of kind of those other mitigating circumstances like Derrick Henry, bad Titans offense, Lamar Jackson hasn't been great, has missed games over recent years? Yeah, that can happen, but if it hits, it's going to hit big. So I'm betting on the upside with my first 3 picks so far. Man, running backs are really falling right now, and I have yet to draft a receiver. That's fucking bad. So one of my next 2 picks has to be receiver here. DeAndre, I think I'd probably try and target Mike Williams. I want to get Jackson Smith and Jigba. So my next pick is 45 and then 52. So here, I'm going to try and get Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, or Kenneth Walker. Hopefully one of those 2, hopefully they don't go in the next 3 picks. I don't feel like they will. And then I think I'm going to try and target JSN, which this is such a weird team so far. Like I said, I'm going to try and do a few of these every single week. I don't know how it'll pan out. Last year, I did have a couple really good ones. I think I made it to the playoffs, and 2 or 3 of them got bounced in the first round. But some people, they don't even make it to the playoffs each time. So I'm going to try and do a number of entries. We'll see how it goes. They took Najee over Kenneth Walker and Gibbs. Please let me take Gibbs here. At 45, I'll take that. Oh, it's my pick. Oh, I could take Gibbs. I am feeling great about Jahmyr Gibbs, especially after they moved off of DeAndre Swift. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery in that backfield. They took him at 12 for a reason. Bijan Robinson right now has the 2nd highest ADP, and the fact that I can get Jahmyr Gibbs right now when he was the 12th overall pick, they're using him. I don't care how much they paid David Montgomery. Of course, they're going to use David Montgomery a little bit, but I'm feeling confident he's going to be great. I could have gone Kenneth Walker there as well. I feel good about him too. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing right now. This is kind of a feeler. I'm getting a feel for how the ADPs are going. The players come off the board differently, especially when you do the draft. If you enter this contest 4 weeks from now, the ADPs are going to be much different. What I also like about it is you're drafting with the same information as everyone else within your 12-person group, obviously. So you're not competing against people who draft 6 weeks from now and have more information to make it out of your group at least. Of course, of the grand scheme of things with the whole regular season prize, you're competing against them. And if you move on to further rounds, you're competing against them. But you can make your money back and still win money within your 12-person group, drafting based off the same information. I'm obviously drafting at the same time as Cart 219. And Mike Williams is really, I think, the only receiver I would have considered over JSN. Kirk has the ability to be sneaky good. I'm going with JSN here. I have been riding the JSN train since well before the draft. I think he can be great this year. Now, as the first receiver on my team, I was not expecting that to happen. And he could wind up being the third receiver in this Seahawks offense. So now, because I have an elite tight end, I have the best tight end in the NFL. I got a quarterback. I have 2 running backs. I think with my next 2 picks, I'm probably going to look to target receiver. And with DeAndre Swift now in the Eagles backfield, I am kind of terrified of him just because he's sharing it with 3 other dudes: Rashad Penny, Gainwell, Boston Scott. Those are 4 guys that are going to split touches. Then, of course, you have Jalen Hurts running the ball. And all of those running backs kind of deserve touches. So I'm personally going to try and stay away from him because he feels like a player that's going to be very iffy week in and week out. You don't know what you're going to get so much. I'm hoping here I can snag Tyler Lockett. So I'm going to go Tyler Lockett here. Like I said, feeling great about the Seahawks offense. I also need to make sure I lock down Geno Smith, because if I have the two of the Seahawks' best receivers on my team, and I don't have the guy throwing to him, it's kind of a moot point for when they have those big explosive weeks. I don't like any of my options here. Brandon Cooks in Dallas, I kind of like. Jameson Williams, I don't really want to dip my hand in because he's going to be out 6 weeks. So you lose 6 weeks of production. Kadarius Toney could be phenomenal this year if he gets. I just don't know how much work he's going to get. Oh man. Oh, I didn't even...
You are a moron.
Man, that sucks. Well, I got Dameon Pierce. I didn't go receiver there. My running backs, if Dameon Pierce balls out again, I'm looking good there. I don't think... Jesus. This first draft is a mess, man. It's my first one I've done. I haven't done any off stream, so I haven't really seen how the ADPs are playing out and when players are typically coming off the board, who's falling, who's kind of going earlier than expected. It seems like receivers have been flying. I wanted Brandon Cooks there, I think. I could have even gone Jordan Addison, man. I kind of even wanted to go Quentin Johnson. Oh, maybe I should maybe try and pick up Odell. Because I do have Lamar Jackson. Oh, when does Zay Flowers come off the board? 103. Oh, Zay Flowers goes at 89. Wow. He wasn't even going to be there. Do I go Rashad Bateman or Odell? Whose health do you trust more? Rashad Bateman, who's played 2 seasons and missed an incredible amount of games, or Odell's coming off that knee injury? You know what? With how weird this draft has been, I'm putting my faith in Odell. Then hopefully I can land a Geno Smith with my next pick. We'll see how quarterbacks come off here in between then, because it's still Daniel Jones, it's still Rodgers, still Richardson. I don't know why Richardson's going that high. I need to take Geno Smith here. Quarterbacks are starting to go. As long as these 2 people don't take him, please don't steal him from me. All right, so I get Geno here. I'm at least able to pair Geno with JSN and Tyler Lockett, so I do like that. Now, if for somehow Rashad Bateman, because people have in their head they don't trust his health or the Ravens' passing offense, if I can get him to fall to 117, that'd be super cool. I don't think he's going to fall. There's too many people drafting based on ADP here. He's going to go off with this pick or Andis's pick, I believe. No, I knew because Andis is literally just picking whoever's at the top. Now, if that was an auto draft, I wasn't really paying attention, but... if it wasn't for him, I think it had a small chance at falling. That Dameon Pierce pick is really... Watch, he'll wind up being the best running back in the NFL this year. That would be nice. But that one's really messing up my draft, I feel like. I'm gonna shoot Sky Moore here. I know he didn't produce at all last season, but my thought process is just that he was a 2nd round pick for a reason. The Chiefs didn't go out and get him last year, and I think in year 2 of the offense, they may try and integrate him a little bit more. I could be completely wrong, and I could get burned again by drafting him, but I'm going to cross my fingers that is not the case, and that he does produce. So, I mean, we'll see, obviously, but, man, I really waited too long on receivers. I'm not feeling great about my group. I'm going to go with Jalen Hyatt. That's a bit of a homer pick, but I just have a feeling, I know he's a 3rd round pick, so it's not like they spent the most amount of draft capital on him, but they did draft up to get him. The receiver room is very competitive as far as the number of guys that are, capable. They're not the best in the NFL by any stretch of the imagination. But I think of the fact they just drafted him. You have Wan'Dale coming off that knee injury last season. You have Isaiah Hodgins and Darius Slayton were kind of the mainstays towards the end of the year. Then there's Sterling Shepard. So it is a crowded wide receiver room. Another pick that could burn me. But I just think since that's a guy that the Giants went out and got this year, 2nd year of the Dable offense, I think they're going to look to definitely include him in the offense early in the season, and as the season moves on, I think he's going to get only more involved. Man, I don't like any of my options right now. I have to imagine the Falcons want to... I'm going to take a flyer on Tyler Algier. I don't like any of the receiver options. I didn't like any of the tight end options. I like the value of getting Tyler Algier there. I know you got Bijan in the backfield, and he's going to be a big part of that offense. But their quarterback is still Desmond Ridder. I'm not a big believer in Ridder, so I think they're still going to look to run the ball a ton, even with Kyle Pitts, even with Drake London, other pieces they have on that offense. I think Tyler Algier is still going to play a role. Maybe he gets a touchdown here or there and slides in. He needs to, count towards my fantasy that week. Honestly, I think I'm going to go Michael Mayer here because he's going to start for the Raiders. Like, who are the Raiders' other tight ends? I don't think they have anyone else. They do have Austin Hooper, and they do have O.J. Howard, so I lied. The Raiders do have other tight ends. But spending that high draft capital on a tight end, Jared Goff is still there. I can't pass up on taking Jared Goff. I know it's 3 quarterbacks. Oh man, I don't know how I feel about this. I went in with the worst plan, dude. Oh, everyone picks who I want like one pick before it happens, dude. I'm going to go with Hunter Renfrow. He was hurt a lot last season, basically put up no points, but I'm hoping that with Jimmy G, maybe a little dink and dunk. I know we're not betting on the best quarterback in the world here, but he's the one with the highest upside I like right there. I'm hoping too to maybe get Isaiah Hodgins with my next pick. Going with Isaiah Hodgins here. I believe in what he did with Daniel Jones last season. I think he's going to probably be the team's #1 receiver, at least at what he's done. It seems like they're always trying to push Darius Slayton out for some reason. So I do have Hyatt and Hodgins. Hopefully that's their best 2 receivers. And then I want to get Sam Laporta with my next pick. Hopefully he's there at pick 200. Thank you. I get Sam Laporta, who I think the Lions definitely drafted to be a big part of their offense with the tight ends that they have, especially after trading TJ Hawkinson last season. So we get a little Lion stack right there. Then maybe we get a Marvin Jones. I'll pick up 196. I'm going to go with Marvin Jones here, especially since Jameson Williams is, he's going to be out the first 6 weeks. So the Lions are going to have to throw it to somebody else. Isaiah Likely, Deuce Vaughn. I feel like Deuce Vaughn is more likely to go off the board, so I'm going to go with him there. I think he's a potential for him to play a big role in Dallas this season, so I'm going to add him to my bunch of running backs I got going on. I don't feel too confident Dameon Pierce and Tyler Algier. I feel really good about Gibbs and Henry. I feel really good about them, actually. I picked Henry a little early. I think pick 21. His ADP is 26. Jahmyr Gibbs fell to me a little bit. Oh, that was my last pick? I am so stupid. That was my last pick. Oh, I didn't even realize. I thought I had more picks. Well, that has been the draft. Once again, my first one was a little rough. I'm either going to live stream over on our TikTok more, do some over there. I want to try and, if this does well and more do well, I'm going to do 1 or 2 more at least on our channel. I'm going to try and do one every single week leading up to the NFL season, maybe once every other week. I hope this does well. Let me know if you're doing one. Let me know if you've entered already. If you want to enter and use our code to double your first time deposit, use code Thicc, THICC, doubles it. It would mean a lot to us. It supports our channel. It supports our content. Like the video, subscribe, and I or Isaiah will see you in the next one. Or I don't know. See you in the next one.